What's up, guys? It's the Team JB coming at you with the Satellarknight deck profile for the new ARG 2015 ban list. If you guys are unaware, ARG just released their own official ban list. I'll leave a link in the description to the article where it talks about the ban list and the events that'll be legal at. And essentially, all major decks were hit except for Satellarknights. And I definitely feel this deck has a chance to be the best deck of the format, along with Cliff Forts and Burning Abyss. And I just wanted to give you guys what I feel is the most optimal build of Satellarknights, and really a list that allows Satellarknights to fulfill its full potential. A lot of people, when they think of Satellarknights, they think it's a really linear deck, you know, just summon Deneb, search Altair, next turn summon the Altair, special the Deneb, and just rinse and repeat. But I definitely feel this particular list has a chance to basically fulfill Satellarknights' potential. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the list. I built this deck to beat what I feel will be the two best decks of the format, along with Satellarknights, which is Cliff Forts and then a close second, Burning Abyss. So yeah, let's just get into the list. So again, I feel this deck is really different than a lot of Satellarknight decks, and hopefully you guys enjoy this deck profile. Leave a like if you do, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I will be doing another one for the new Konami list, but for now, we got the ARG list. So to start off the deck, we got 3 Deneb, standard. We've got 3 Altair. In my opinion, this card probably should have went to 2, but a lot of people don't really realize how good this deck is if built properly. So whatever, I guess it maintained its under the radar status. 3 Unukalhai, a major difference from a lot of the standard Satellarknight decks. In this deck, opening Unukalhai is almost as good and sometimes better than opening Deneb, and you'll see once I get to the traps. So triple Unukalhai is mandatory. And then double Vega. 2 is the most optimal amount of this card. It allows you to essentially go into your best card in the deck, which is Triver, which this deck is essentially built as a Triver spam deck, so Vega's really necessary. And then that's it for the Satellarknights. And then the last monster we play, 1 Honest. Okay. If you guys are unaware, essentially Cliff Forts, they've got this new card called Wavering Eyes, and it allows them to play what is essentially Towers Turbo. So it's really important for the deck to have a main deck out to Towers, because you don't just want to get auto lose to whenever Cliff Forts go first and they open Towers and you just auto lose and you have to scoop and go to game 2. So essentially Honest is your answer to that. And also, a lot of people, whenever they think of Honest, they think this card is really terrible because, you know, it makes your good hands better and your bad hands worse. But a lot of people, they don't take into account this card, how good it is. It's surprise factor. Like, you just cannot play around this card. Like, this card's just too good in my opinion. It's really good out of 1 of. Don't play 2. Amazing out to Towers, and it's just really hard to play around. And I definitely feel it warrants a spot whenever Towers Turbo is running around. So that's it for the monsters. There's 12 monsters. Onto the spells. We've got triple reinforcement. Actually, this card should have got hit. I don't know why this card's at 3, but this card probably should have went to 1. But 3 Rhoda. 3 Upstart. Pot of Duality isn't good in this deck because you special summon every turn. So yeah, Upstart's definitely necessary to maximize consistency. We've got triple MST. This may seem weird. We've never been in a format for a really long time where triple MST was necessary, but now that Necros is essentially gone because, you know, Trishula got banned, Unicorn went to 1, and the Djinn Lock is gone, I definitely feel MST in the main deck is really important because you don't want to get just absolutely shreked by not having MST versus the Cliff Fort matchup. Also, this card's pretty decent versus the Mirror Match and versus Burning Abyss, because they do run a lot of traps. So triple MST is, in my opinion, necessary. Then we've got 1 Soul Charge and 1 Raigeki for the 1-ofs. Raigeki, this card's just overpowered. I think this card should be banned. And Soul Charge, this card is really amazing in this particular version of the deck, and it just opens up a lot of combo plays. You can see in my combo video that I had with this deck, it opens up a lot of Tsukiyomi plays, which is really important. So that's it for the spells. That's 11 spells. Now on to the traps. We've got triple Alpha Nova. I know this card this card's kind of like the Honest. It makes good hands better and bad hands worse. But in this particular version of the deck, you almost always have a Satellarknight. You're running 11 Satellarknight monsters, so you almost always open with one. And I just feel this card is just way too powerful to cut to 2. I saw some players doing that. We've got the Heart and Soul of the deck, triple Call the Haunted, triple Oasis. This, in my opinion, is what makes the deck amazing. Essentially, what this allows you to do is to go into Triver as much as possible and essentially just rinse and repeat by just adding the Oases and calls back to your hands. And it's just too overpowered. What I like to think of these cards as my 6 additional soul charges, which allows me to essentially play 7 soul charges because like special summoning 1 Satellarknight is equivalent to special summoning like all of them, because you know you special summon the Vega, special summon the Altair from hand, and then special summon the Deneb. So you know it's just kind of OP like that. And again, you run triple Unukalhai, so it makes this really consistent. And I definitely feel this is correct because you definitely want to maximize on the OP power of this deck, which is essentially Triver. Next, we've got triple Fiendish Chain, just the most solid effect negation in the game right now. Essentially, especially with you being able to bounce it back with Triver, which I feel is definitely necessary. 2 Mind Crush. This is one of the cards I was really debating on dropping or keeping in the deck. At first, I was running 3, and then I decided to drop it down to 2 because I needed to fit some other cards into this deck. But for 2 right now is really safe. This card's really good versus the standard Klee deck and the Mirror Match and Burning Abyss, but it's terrible versus the turbo build of Klee. So I think 2 is a safe number. It's not as good at 3 like it used to be because Necros is essentially gone. So 2 I feel is optimal for now. I'll definitely have to do more testing with 2. Next, you got double Torrential. This is another change on the list. I definitely feel this card is really amazing. Just field clearing on your opponent's turn is so amazing. Like, I know Dark Hole's at 3 now, but this card's so much better because it allows you to disrupt their plays on their turn. And every card in this deck is essentially a floater. And what I mean by that is they're not a floater in the sense of BA where they replace themselves, but in the sense that once you've summoned a monster, you've already gotten its effect and you've gotten everything you need to out of it. Like once you've summoned Deneb, you've already searched the Altair, and essentially the Deneb's already gotten what it's already done what it's needed to do. So torrentialing away a Deneb, it doesn't really matter. And double torrential is just way too good. And the last trap we run, the Solemn Warning, is just too OP. So that's 17 traps, 40 card deck. Now we'll get into the extra deck. We've got double Triver, the best card in the deck. 3 is unnecessary because a lot of times you bounce back the other Triver with the Triver, and you recycle it with Diagusto Emeral. So 2 is all you need. 1 Delteros, 1 Diamond, and that's it for the Satellarknight engine. Now on to 1 Tsukiyomi. This is by far your best opening in the deck. If you open Vega, Deneb, and 3 settable back rows, you almost always auto-win that game just because of this card. You guys can check out my combo video if you want to see what I mean, but this card is just so good. It opens up so many like auto-win scenarios, especially when you're running the triple call and the triple Oasis. Discarding the Altair from your hand like is meaningless because you could just revive it and it just accelerates your plays. Next we've got the Emeral and the Exciton, the Castel, and the Dweller. This card's really amazing in the Burning Abyss because you just go Dweller, chain Torrential, chain its effects, or you just go Dweller, Raigeki, and it just blows out the Burning Abyss matchup. 1 Excalibur. Unfortunately, you have to play this card. It's just you need the Alta Towers. I'm really scared of that new Turbo Clifford deck. That deck's really degenerate, and if you don't have an out to the towers, you almost always lose. Next, we've got the Cairngorgon to protect your side deck floodgates. We've got the Cowboy for game, Rhapsody and Berserk just to banish cards from the graveyard, and then we've got Diamond Direwolf and Ragnazero. These 2 cards should be the new Satellarknight monster and the card that allows you to go 5 materials. That card. Those should be those 2 cards. I haven't really played in real life in a really long time, so I don't have those cards, but those are what those 2 cards should be.
So that's it for the extra deck. Now on to the side deck. We've got triple maxi. This card is very important. Versus Burning Abyss, it's very important to slow them down. Also, it's very good versus the mirror match and a lot of rogue decks. Like in this list, windups might become good because now they have some Mighty and Magician at 2. So it's always safe to have triple maxi accessible in your side deck. Next, we've got the double Flying Sea. This card's amazing versus a BA in the mirror match. Because essentially what you do is you special summon this to their side, and then on your turn you go Triver and bounce it back. You can just keep looping like that, and essentially I feel like this deck can utilize this card most efficiently. So I definitely feel that you should run Flying Sea. Next we've got triple Fairy Wind. I hate Cliff Forts. You need this card. Also, this card is very good versus Floodgates. People might be siding Lighting Prisoning Mirror or like Macrocosmos, stuff like that, and it's really good out to a lot of Floodgates. Next we've got triple Iron Wall. This is your answer to the Ritual Beasts. Also, it's very good versus Infernoids, a lot of random decks too. So triple Iron Wall in my opinion is necessary. It's a really good Floodgate. Next we got double Shadow Mirror. I don't feel like triple is necessary anymore because you know you have a lot of outs to BA with the triple maxi, the double Flying Sea, and then next we've got double Wiretap. This card I feel is going to be really good in this format because Satellarknight's going to be